Telehealth Ontario called me back March 29, 2020. Registered nurse. It's every nurse's sacred duty, as soon as they see something wrong, to phone up, go up the ladder real quick before it happens to them or anybody else. Frayne. They mentioned Rick Frayne had to pull his brother off life support. Permanent, like brain damage, right? So, I don't know. It's utter nonsense. I've been trying. I was the 20th person to take this training in September 2011. Been trying to stop it ever since. Causing post-traumatic stress with the police department, fire, EMS. I was publishing the 2015 guidelines about it myself. At Brad Chapman's coroner's inquest, the director of policy for the Ministry of Health was on the stand being questioned by the lawyers. His response was, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I want my lawyers. Go ask Eric Hoskins. He's the one that makes us put the protocol in the kids. The other provinces used to say start with rescue breathing. Somebody went around and got them to change their mind. The only provinces left that are still teaching rescue breathing are BC, the Yukon, and New Brunswick. What a nonsense. They all know me. All the politicians know me. I tried to save Rob Ford's life back in 2013, the mayor of Toronto. There was a rumor of him, a video of him smoking crack. So I went to Toronto Public Health and talked to the doctors. I said, I guess this live human study can't end until somebody kills the mayor if he smokes too much, drinks too much, has a diabetic coma, stroke, or chokes on the extra gravy. The doctors at Toronto Public Health started laughing their fool heads off. Yeah, that's a good one, Gary. Kill the mayor, kill the mayor. I grabbed a friend of mine, EMS. Follow me, we're going over to talk to Rob. Rob's response was, Toronto Public Health's not in my jurisdiction. I said, do I got to go to Montreal or Windsor to save your life? Anyway, I'm just making awareness, right? Trying to save lives. It's increasing drug use and abuse, mental health, mental and physical illness. You know, just cognitive dissonance, denial, fear of speaking up. Medical profession, it's a sign the whole civilization's crumbling when the medical profession becomes dysfunctional. The College of Physicians and Surgeons, Ontario, used to have up a training session. They had a PowerPoint, which they removed January 2019. I got a copy of it. It's chest compressions. I phoned him up and recorded it. And I said, what are you doing? We wouldn't teach such a thing, the guy says. I says, well, it's your PowerPoint. I got a copy. And the Ontario Pharmacists Association handing out literature, their training. I took their training, an hour-long training. And they're handing it out to all the pharmacists. And every pharmacist knows it's wrong. First class in pharmacy school, what to do for a poisoning or a drug overdose. Let's give them air ASAP. You're not allowed in the lab not knowing that. Yet they're handing out the information from the government. Yeah, I know. The more they hand it out, the more likely it's going to backfire and happen to them, an injury, illness that puts them comatose, right? Anyway, at Gary CPR, G-A-R-Y, CPR, it's all up there. I just got published in the New York Times about it. Yeah, I know. It's nonsense. I'm having too much fun. I got a psychiatrist take an upgrade in my neuroscience class. She says, Gary's the sanest person in the whole province trying to stop mass murder. I says, what about you, doctor? She says, leave my name out of it. I says, another nut. Am I really sane when you got a crazy doctor? I've given lectures. I've given lectures to the students at the University of Toronto. I have 30. I gave a lecture to the forensic toxicology. The most esteemed toxicologist in the province, Michael Corbett. I had a 30-minute lecture. It took 5 minutes, and the students all had their heads down in their desk. I don't want to hear anymore. Michael Corbett says, that's the best lecture I've heard in a long time. I says, Michael, how do I stop this? He says, Gary, you got to get creative. I pull 50 cents out of my pocket, hand it to him. I says, maybe make a phone call, save your own life. Professor Kathy Crow, she's Ryerson. August 2017 at OCAP, Ontario Coalition Against Poverty, their annual barbecue, Allen Gardens. 300 people in attendance plus the press. Kathy Crow, direct quote, there's a coroner's report which I have read and is being buried. We're all being murdered. The coroner's burying the information. I talked to the coroner long before Kathy. Yeah, of course it's happening. You know that Danforth shooting that we had here in Toronto? Yeah, 13 people shot. Well, the brother of the shooter is left in permanent brain damage, 24/7 nursing. I told Public Health back in 2011, I said, somebody's going to kill their child, be so distraught, come in here with a gun and shoot all your staff, and the judge is going to let them go. I would have done the same thing, taught me how to kill my child. Utter nonsense. Yeah, I know. And a 5-year-old child, I show it to Boy Scouts and Girl Guides, right? The protocol, they know right away. That's wrong. Because in Boy Scouts and Girl Guides, when you get your first aid badge, they stress rescue breathing because their friends aren't going to have a cardiac arrest. They'll have respiratory problems, right? Yeah. Anyway, you have a good day. It was nice talking to you.
Thanks for the chat, Gary. Can I just grab your date of birth from you for your file?
Sure, 14th of June, 54.
And what's your postal code there in Toronto?
M1N.
Yep.
1R6.
Okay.
Yeah. It's too funny. Where I work for the 15 and Fairness. We try and change the labor laws and get a higher minimum wage.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of doctors that we get funding from. My executive director says, Gary, shut up. We get funding from these doctors. I go, what the heck? Where is your integrity? Right?
Yeah, I know.
We have funding. We get funding from the nuts.
What's your last name, Gary?
Thompson, THOMPSON. And you can look it all up on my Twitter, at Gary CPR, GARY CPR. It's all up there. Share it around. Save your own life, man. You won't be able to stop them. You'll be comatose from an injury or illness, right? And they're eagerly pounding on your chest because the doctor told me to.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Have a good one.
You too, Gary. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're too funny. Yeah.